Welcome to episode number 2 of The Shit Show. I like that name, by the way. Today we're going to talk about the Shafia Trial. A trial I think we all kind of thought was behind us, and these three were going to rot in jail. By three, I'm talking specifically of the father, Mohammed, his second wife from a polygamous relationship outside of Bountiful, mind you, Tuba, and Mohammed's son, Hamed. Shafia, they basically plotted to kill Zainab, Sahar, Gita, which are the daughters and sisters, and the what I can only assume is the first wife, who I guess they were calling the nanny for a while, who couldn't have children, so I guess he went out and got this second wife. They're trying to get an appeal for their conviction. Based on the rules that we have in Canada, which are perfectly logical, that if there's an error in the law and the rule of law that's applied in their case, or evidence that was presented, they can apply for an appeal and let's redo the whole trial. Totally A-okay with that. But their basis for it, with their new defense team, is that there was expert testimony presented by the Crown by a U of T professor by the name of Shazrad Mujab, who specializes in honor killings. I can't even imagine that that's a career path, but I guess it is. And they basically are saying that she reinforced pre-existing stereotypes of violent and primitive Muslims. I have filmed this video no less than 6 or 7 times this morning because I feel I may be coming across as culturally insensitive in a case which is basically about being culturally insensitive. So I'm trying to stay as neutral as possible. This really is pretty hard to take as a Canadian. I think we all have a real hard time understanding the whole concept of honor killings. You bring your family to this country. I can only assume you want them to be Western, so being upset about your children being, Westernized, calling them whores, filthy and treacherous, and even going so far as to say may the devil shit on their graves, are not the kind of people I think any of us can justify having walk among us. I'm quite content to let them rot in jail. I'm not going to say let's ship them off to from whence they came or anything like that. Let them rot in jail. The two elder Shafias will be very old and completely irrelevant should they ever see the light of day. I do worry though about Hamed. In my own head, I question whether, he saw this coming and he's like, if I don't go along with that, he's going to kill me too. And I'm sure that was a part of the court case. Whatever the case may be, he will still be young when he gets out. And I really feel like we're going to need to keep a good watchful eye on him and whatever family he may have in the future, because this is really something we can't have in Canada. And we really need to make sure we wipe it out. And we need to make sure that we're not allowing it to come here either. The real issue here is that I really hope that the judge sees through this whole ploy and just says, forget it, you cannot have a retrial based on this appeal. I've read a whole bunch of articles in the last couple of days since this has come up, and most of the experts in the field have all agreed that the U of T professor basically presented as many points for the defense team as she did for the prosecution. She was apparently quite balanced in her approach to explain exactly what it was. And the defense is talking about that the whole idea of honor shouldn't have come up in the whole thing to begin with. But it was Mr. Shafia himself who brought it up. So if you're going to open a door in court, either one of the teams, defense or prosecution, is allowed to walk through that door and present all kinds of supporting evidence after the fact. So I really do hope it just gets squashed and never goes anywhere. And to me, the thing that I find most odd about this, and it's why I've kind of filmed this over and over again today, we're talking about an honor killing. If these children brought shame to your house and you needed to restore honor, why are you not honorable enough to say I did it and why I did it? It seems to me your whole concept of honor It's a little fucked up. And for that, the three of you are our douchebags of the day. Cheers!